know what you came here to do. Now bust it open, let me see you get loose. It's going down for real. It's going down for real. It's going down for real.
It is going down for real. And once again, I'm your host, Coach Walters, welcoming you back to our 6th episode. And actually, the theme of today's episode should probably not be it's going down, but it's going up rather, because our guest today definitely knows something about being high up in the air. If you've been with us all along, we really appreciate you guys giving some attention to these wonderful athletes. And we do want to take a chance to thank some of the people that have made this possible. Again, a big shout out to Lenny's Photography. If you haven't already gone to take a look at Lenny's, you definitely need to, because they do a wonderful job of supporting our athletes. So that's Lenny's Photos at smugmug.com. Also, big shout out to my boy Frank and the Mr. Pickles squad. Make sure that we're checking them out, because they're doing a great job of providing for us in this time of need. So without further ado, let's get to our guest, our man of the hour. He's done all sorts of things on this campus, including setting records and definitely bringing some positive pub to us. Let's put our hands together and welcome Caiden Macktinger. Caiden, how are you?
Doing all right. Glad to be here.
Right on, man. Well, I'm hoping that you're surviving in this time of quarantine and you getting to spend some extra time with your family.
Trying to make it work for sure.
No doubt. We're all trying to be positive. John Wooden once said things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. So that's what's getting me up every single day. So Caiden, tell us what it is that you do at Del Oro that is so special.
All right. Well, I do track and field for one, but the main event that I do is the pole vault. And
wow, okay.
Some people ask like what that is, and they say, "Is that the thing with the stick?" I always reply, "Yes, it is."
It is the thing with the stick, yeah.
So my goal is basically take my stick and jump over another stick.
You make it sound so simple, but it's anything but simple. In fact, I was watching a YouTube clip the other day, and a guy almost got impaled by his own pole vault stick.
Yep, I've seen a couple of incidents.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because tell us a little bit about the actual stick, because you guys you're looking for something that's somewhat lightweight, but it still has to have enough spring and strength to get you high enough to go over the pole.
Yeah, so there's a lot of physics that goes into it, and basically it's a composite of like carbon fiber and fiberglass, and when you mix those two, it gets pretty springy as well as reduces weight. But basically they have they call it like a flex number, but they want you to they basically can correlate that to a weight factor. So however much you weigh, you can get on a pole. That correlates to about that. So you're not allowed to go under your weight because it'd probably break, but you are allowed to go over it, and that's the goal. So if I weigh 160 pounds, I would want to be on up to anywhere from 20 to 40 pounds above my weight. So if I'm on there's no limit to how long the pole can be, but the thickness is kind of what's important. So
that's super cool, man. I mean, so that would be the equivalent of like a baseball player and his relationship with his bat, or a football player having his own helmet. Like you and your pole, you're pretty tight, aren't you?
Yeah, I actually have around 13 or 14 different poles I use.
Wow.
They have different functions. So I'll start on like a smaller, thinner pole, and then I'll work my way up to the bigger ones, and they basically throw you different ways. If you're really fast, or you got your technique down really good one day, then you're going to want to be on the biggest pole possible, and that's going to get you highest in the air.
Right on. That's awesome. What's the history of this? Is this an original Olympic track and field event?
I don't know. I tried to do a research project on it one time for our class, and I think what I came up with is there's a thing in, I can't remember, it's some European country. It's called the Fjälljeppen. And they basically run and try to clear a lake on like a giant stick. They do it nowadays. It's like a Red Bull thing.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's Denmark, but it's definitely a Northern European country.
Yeah, it's one of those. And it honestly started out as a how far you can go lengthwise, and then eventually it just went up, I guess.
Oh, right on. Very, very cool. So, kind of talking a little bit more. I think you've done more than just pole vaulting here at Del Oro, correct?
Yeah, I played soccer my whole life, and
Okay.
then in around it was sophomore year when I just decided I want to focus on track. But I did play soccer on the varsity team my freshman and sophomore year.
Right on. Very, very cool. So obviously your love is track and field. Have you always been just strictly pole vaulting, or have you competed in other events as well?
So I actually do a lot of events, and I would blame, uh, I would attribute this year's success and last year's success to different events that I do. So um, I ended up learning how to throw discus, and I won league in the discus.
Right on.
And that was last year. And this year I just kept throwing it. I high jump as well as long jump, and I made it onto the A team for the 4x100 team this year. So I like to do all the events, and there's actually a chance I might be a decathlete in college.
Oh, that's outstanding. Now,
We'll see.
now for those of us that aren't track aficionados, a decathlete, that's 10 events, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a 2-day event. So you do
That-
5 one day and then 5 the next.
That's incredible, man. Well, that shows your versatility and your ability to do stuff. Speaking of being versatile, this picture over here to the right, it's actually our first athlete, Allie Isaac, and you. Tell us what you're doing right here.
Oh, that's the black hole. And that's just the student section, basically leadership team. We bring the hype.
Yeah, you guys do. You did a great job. I gotta find a pair of tights like that in that tutu. That's outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Target little girls section.
That's awesome, man. Well, you guys did do a great job. And again, it just speaks to your versatility and the way that you've tried to infuse yourself onto this campus, Caiden. You've definitely been a positive light. But, a couple more questions on this sport stuff. As far as it is an Olympic sport, do you have any Olympic aspirations?
So I do. I've been working at it, and my coach can foresee me improving another 2 to 3 feet within the next couple of years. That would put me I'm around the 17 feet range, so 17 to 18 feet right now. But if the Olympic standard is around 19 to 20 feet, and if I can hit that range, that would be a good thing for me, because I do want to go to the Olympics. And I'll do that through the WCAP program with my college, Air Force Academy. And that basically will postpone my military service for a couple of years while I compete as a pro athlete. So that would be a really cool thing if I could get to it. But it's going to take work.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, speaking of competition, we'll kind of just talk about it. You sent me some numbers last night, but your PR is a 16 feet 4 inches.
Yes, that was at the beginning of this season it was an indoor meet called the Pole Vault Summit. It's basically like all of the pole vaulters in the nation meet up in one place, and that's Reno. And I ended up popping a pretty high bar early in the season. So.
Right on. Well, I mean, you just look at this resume here. 2019, you were 8th in the state. You were 3rd at the US ATF Youth Nationals. And 2020, you were projected top 3 jumper nationally. And I think just kind of showing everybody exactly what you do will definitely set the mark high, as it were. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this film for them real quick. And everybody can kind of see what you do. You were pretty fired up there, weren't you?
Yeah, so there's this kind of trend with track and field, and it's basically like everybody does this clap, like it's a slow progression clap where they go and so on. And so when you're really feeling the jump, you ask for that, like, and it's like if you're one of the last couple people in, you ask for that clap, and it just jazzes you out completely. So
awesome.
I asked for that this 3rd attempt and got me over it. So I was pretty stoked.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that was pretty cool from that angle, but you sent us a different angle that I'm going to show right now to everybody. that's really going to put the emphasis on just how incredible a jump it was. It's at pit level, and it's from the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on over and tell everybody that this is probably going to be one of the most incredible things you're ever going to see a high school athlete do. This is the exact same jump that you just did, correct?
Yeah, it is.
Right on. So let's take a look. So I guess heights have never scared you, huh?
No, I actually really like heights. Unpopular opinion.
That's
When I'm
awesome,
on
man.
when I go on my hikes and stuff, I'll get really close to the ledge.
Living on the edge. I love it.
My mom was watching this. I'm sorry, but I was born this way.
I like it. I like it. Who would you like to thank for your sports experience? Who deserves a shout out?
Ooh, so there's a few people I have in mind. So first off is my parents, because they provided me with a lot of coaching opportunities and just resources to get my speed and strength up, as well as provided me with my coach himself, who's Coach Roth. He's a private coach. He lives pretty close to the school. So he's been a really good resource, and his son was a phenomenal jumper. He's probably top 10 in the world at one point.
Wow.
And yeah, he's a real good coach. And then another person I'd like to thank is Mr. Fee, because he's the one that actually brought me to pole vault in the first place. I was a pretty rowdy kid. Like, I always be flipping off walls. A nickname I had around the 7th grade was the backflip kid. Like, glad it wore out, but yeah, Mr. Fee knew that, and he's like, "Hey, you should be a pole vaulter." And I said, "Okay, I'll go give it a try." And I tried diving. That didn't really work out, and made my way over to pole vault, and here we are. So
Right on. Right on. That's awesome. Well, it sounds like this video that we just watched was kind of a magical moment. But the question I've been asking all the athletes is, if there was one meet or jump specifically or moment that you wish that you could go back and just relive that moment again, which one would it be?
Oof. Well, there's a lot of good practice moments this year for sure. We'd always have our pre-practice rituals and stuff like that. But man, the state meet last year, that was crazy. Like, I would go back and relive that in a flash, because for one, the facilities there, like, the entire stadium was straight out of a movie. Like, I'd never seen something so like perfect. The weather was spot on and conditions were perfect, but just the energy from everybody there was unmatched.
Absolutely. Well, and speaking of unmatched, you're probably not done with these magical moments. As you mentioned earlier, we may have the opportunity to see you someday competing for the United States, but you're definitely going to be serving the United States as you continue your track career. Why don't you tell us what your plans are for next year?
All right. Well, I have signed with the United States Air Force Academy, not just for sports, but to also study, become a second lieutenant right out of the school, and serve my country. But I feel like my patriotism needs to be channeled somehow, and I think I found the school for that, and want to serve my country. And on top of that, I get a really, really good track program.
Yeah.
And just want to compete at that higher level. So really,
No
it's your
doubt.
up, and I think it's the place for me.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's such a cool experience, and to get to represent our country and as an athlete. I mean, just looking down here at, I believe this is their indoor track facility.
Yes, it is.
You know, probably doesn't get much better than that as far as the track world is concerned.
Yeah, it's a pretty phenomenal stadium, and they're actually redoing it right now, so it's going to look even better. I think they're going to put the track up on curves and stuff like
Wow.
that. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty.
Well, that's absolutely awesome, man. And I've known a bunch of great young people who have gone to the Air Force Academy, and they obviously speak highly of the experience. It is an Ivy League experience for sure, and you will definitely take advantage of it, I know. So let me be one of the first, hopefully, to say thank you for your service, and thank you for for taking on that most important task of protecting us and our freedom. So I appreciate that, Caiden.
Hey, that's my pleasure.
Awesome, man. Well, like I said, this is definitely not the end, but we're going to transition into some fun questions. Just start off with something easy. Like, what's your birthday?
I'm a December baby. 6 days
Okay.
before Christmas. That's December 19th, born 2001.
Right on. So you're really hoping that you are going to, or that you'll be able to have a birthday party and not just a drive-by honking fest like everybody's
Yeah.
doing right now.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah. What is your go-to dance move?
My dad taught me the good old-fashioned sprinkler.
That's awesome.
That one's my favorite.
Yeah, shout out to dads and dance moves. That's awesome.
Right.
How many siblings do you have?
I live in a family of 4 kids, so I'm the second oldest. I have an older brother and 2 younger sisters.
Okay, solid. How long have you lived in the Loomis area?
Well, I've always gone to school in the Loomis area, but so pretty much my whole life. I was born in Carmichael, but by the time I started kindergarten, I was at Franklin, and then transferred over to Loomis Basin Charter, and then made my way to DO.
Right on.
Houses around there.
Right on. You have any hidden talents?
Oof.
Are we a singer?
Oh, I like to write songs. And
Really?
I like jazz guitar, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good one.
Outstanding. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so into the pop culture questions. Are we TikToking or are we Instagramming?
Give it to Instagram.
Okay.
Timeless. It's pretty straightforward. Keep in touch with people, pictures.
Yeah.
What more do you need?
I love that you guys say timeless, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's what we said about MySpace too. So
Well, that's not TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok's out in like a year.
Oh yeah, it'll happen. It's a fad. What is your favorite Disney movie?
Oof. Let's see. I didn't think about that one yet. I like The Lion King.
You can't go wrong with it. It's good. Who's your celebrity crush?
I might be hopping on the bandwagon, but Madison Beer.
I don't know. That's the first one I've heard so far. I'm not even familiar with her. I'm gonna have to go Google.
Yeah, well, I think you'll like what you see.
Right on. Right on. Who was your favorite teacher over the 4 years at DO?
I really like the way that Mr. Cornett teaches. He's got a really straightforward understanding of physics, and he teaches you how to derive equations just off of things like that. So teaching wise, he's pretty good. But I had Mr. Fee for one of his team sports classes, and he's pretty motivational, really motivational, and it's hard to say.
Right on. Well, you lost me with the Cornett when you started talking about equations. I quit math when they put letters in it. It just wasn't fair. So
yeah.
And then what show are you binge watching right now?
So I'm not a big TV guy. I'm actually reading a book. I'm reading some books right now.
Of course.
There's this one called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. It's about a Navy SEAL.
Yes.
It's a real cool book. Teaches you how to push your mental limits and how when you're doing physical activities or even mental activities, how your brain tells you to stop and teaches you how to get rid of that feeling of comfortability, that desire to kind of be in a safe place and get rid of that and push your limits. So yeah. I really find it an interesting book.
Yeah. Have you ever heard David Goggins speak by any chance?
Powerful.
Yes.
Powerful.
Yeah.
No. I'm actually at the part of the book where he's recruiting. So he basically would do a 50-mile run into the auditorium where he's speaking or do pull-ups while he's giving his lecture. It's really crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I look up to him a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the one thing that he said, I've had the opportunity to hear him speak twice, and both times he's one of my favorite motivational speakers. But when he's just like, you got to do one thing every day that sucks, and that's what makes you hard. Yep. Because, that's the grit. It's the determination. That's what's going to determine success in everything that you do, because life's going to knock you down, but you've got to get back up. And his story is definitely motivational for sure. So for those of you that are watching this, if you haven't, if you're not familiar with David Goggins' story, look it up. It'll make a world of difference to you, especially right now while you're stuck in quarantine, because I guarantee you, David Goggins isn't whining about having to do this.
Yeah.
So right on. All right. So we are moving in to our next section, which is going to be about the lyric challenge. All right. So are you ready to play the lyric challenge?
Yes, sir.
All right. So everybody that's done this has been nervous because this is the one part of the PowerPoint that they have no control over and they have no idea what's coming. So basically the way it works is I'm going to pop up a lyric. Lyric is missing a phrase, and I'm going to give you one of 4 options to go ahead and choose. So without further ado, let's get into lyric number 1. We're all in this together. Yeah, High School Musical, right? Little anthem.
Let's see.
And it's, let's see, let me drop us down for a second because no one wants to see my ugly mug as we do this. We're all in this together, and it shows when we stand hand in hand, make our blank.
I'm gonna go with A on that one. I was a big musical guy, but
you were a big High School Musical fan. Was that what you said?
No, I have no idea any of this.
All right, make our dreams come true. That's his choice. It's correct. Well done. Hey, we're 1 for 1. We're over the bar. All right, Eye of the Tiger. Bet you heard this song a couple times when you were doing the black hole stuff. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor blank the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. A, waits in. B, licks his wounds in. C, stalks his prey. Or D, grows his strength in.
I'm gonna go with D.
D?
Yeah.
All right, he's going with D. And the answer is stalks his prey in the night. Yeah. It's all right. We'll forgive you for that.
I like the background music a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a big difference. All right, Sweet Caroline.
Man, I'm kicking myself for that one. Hold on.
So, Sweet Caroline, good times never seemed so good. I've been blank to believe they never would. A, blind. B, resigned. C, behind. Or D, inclined. I know, these are tough ones. We keep raising the bar on you.
I was expecting rap songs. A.
You're going to go A. I've been blind. It's actually D. I've been inclined. Man. It's all good. I got a feeling that you're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
All right. Old Town Road by Lil Nas. Yeah, I'm going to take my blank to the Old Town Road. I'm going to blank till I can't no more. A, horse ride. B, Porsche whip. C, gun shoot. Or D, dog run.
Go with the A.
A. He's going to go A. And he's back over the bar, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. And last one. Delaro fight song. Realize that if you get this wrong, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah, okay.
So, black and gold will always be bold. Best in the blank west. We'll do our blank best. A, far vary. B, golden level. C, north traditional. Or D, wild level.
Let's see, B.
B. And he's right. It is B. Hey, the next question I have for you is, who are we going to nominate for episode number 7?
Ooh. Let's go with Caitlin Oldwin.
All right, so you heard it. Our next episode is going to be featuring Caitlin Oldwin of softball fame here at Del Oro, the class of 2020. Hey, Caden, I just want to say thank you again so much for joining us. You were an absolute pleasure. The
Thank you.
rock star that you've been, man.
Well, thank you. I had a great time.
Awesome, man. Well, oh, I'm sorry, I spoke over. What were you saying?
I was saying thanks for putting this on. This is a real cool thing that you're doing.
Yeah, no, it's obviously we've got a lot of great kids like you that need some attention and some highlighting for all the wonderful things you guys are doing. And I just appreciate, like I said, your future service and everything that you've done over the past 4 years, Caden. Your folks have a lot to be proud of, so keep doing it, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the end of episode number 6 of The Score. We're just getting better every single day, so make sure to check back with us and keep letting us know how we're doing. We want to make sure that we are highlighting as many different athletes as we can, and we really do appreciate all the things that they've done. So once again, this is Coach Walters, making sure that you all stay safe, stay smart, stay inside, stay close to your family, and don't forget to check the score.